What you are about to experience is out of this world. Politics, history, and of course, a lot of entertainment. It's time to rock it with the Docket.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Kyle of Dockery with the Dockery Docket. We are here with another fantastic episode of the Dockery Docket. I'm excited to be here and I hope that you are excited to be here as well. And if you are excited to be here as well, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so then you never miss one of my videos. So before we dive any deeper into this episode, I have to talk about the elephant in the room. That's right, all of these different things that I have on my wall. This one is Donald Trump working out. It's a calendar. I got this one from a very super fan. And then this calendar right here has Donald Trump being buff. I got that from a super fan as well. And all of these different Trump hats down here are from another very big Dockery Docket mega fan. If you want to send me stuff, go ahead and write something in the comments and maybe I'll put it up on the wall. I'm trying to get a big flag over here, but I don't know if my wife will allow me to do that. So let's actually dive into this episode. So this time in politics is kind of strange. There doesn't seem to be a lot of crazy things happening, and it just seems like we are all just waiting for the inauguration of Donald Trump. This year, there was no drama in the House of Representatives, and Mike Johnson was chosen to be the speaker once again. January 6th, the worst day in American history, I might add, went on without any interruptions, and Trump was certified as the 47th president of the United States. Hooray! Which is crazy, especially with all the crap that Donald Trump has been going through the last, 8 years? Just give the man a break already. Now New York wants to call Donald Trump back and charge him with these different crimes that, of course, are stupid. Luckily, Trump won't have to go to jail because he is now the president of the United States and has immunity, but still, it's annoying to have all of these different cases happening when I believe that the American people just don't even care about those different cases anymore. Now, does this mean that nothing happened over the Christmas/New Year's holiday break? Of course not, as tragedy on New Year's Day happened as a man drove a vehicle into a crowd of people, and then the man got out of his truck and began to fire at the police. The police returned fire, killing the terrorists. Sadly, this terrorist killed 14 people and injured 35. Now, it is tragic and can also be annoying when stories like this happen because they always get political. Instead of mourning the victims that were lost, instead we are talking about the stupid police chief saying after a major terrorist attack to just go back to your daily lives and act like nothing ever happened. No, I'm not joking. She actually said that. Take a look at this.
We'll say that we want our community and our visitors to continue enjoying. There's so much to enjoy about New Orleans, and we are going to make sure that our routes in the Superdome are safe today for the game. And yet we had this tragic event, and we're sorry again to everyone in our community. But we do want you to go about the day, as we say, just stay away from bourbon. Okay.
Then we have the media's response to this, which is always interesting to say the least, as the Washington Post was getting called out for their headline claiming, "Truck rams through New Orleans crowd." It never mentions that it was a terrorist attack. It doesn't mention how many people were killed. This headline doesn't give you the story of what exactly happened. If you go and read the article, it will say that the man had an ISIS flag and was inspired to do this attack by ISIS, but why do they say truck? Why don't they say terrorists? Because that's what this was. It was a terrorist attack. Now, the interesting thing about this story is that the Washington Post has written the same headline for another attack that happened 4 years ago related to a person driving a car into a crowd of people. As on November 21st, 2021, Darrell Brooks drove his car past a barricade and through a Christmas parade in Wisconsin. 6 people were killed in this attack and 48 or more and more were injured. Do you know how the Washington Post reported it? They posted their article on Twitter with the caption, "Here's what we know so far on the sequence of events that led to the Wisconsin tragedy caused by not a man, but an SUV." CNN also played this game on Twitter, as they wrote, "Waukesha will hold a moment of silence today, marking 1 week since a car, not a person, drove through a city Christmas parade, killing 6 people and injuring scores of others." Once again, just like the terrorist attack in New Orleans, this attack was done by the vehicle, not the person inside the vehicle that had stupid and radical views. And it honestly makes me wonder if this has to do with race somehow. Now, before we dive deeper into this, I have to mention that all killings of innocent people is wrong, of course. And I believe that they should be called out by the media as terrorists, as evil people who do wrong, no matter what race or religion they are. If these people are killing people and causing terrorism, then they are a terrorist. It doesn't matter who they are. I'm also aware that there are people in the media that tried to downplay different school shooters that happen to be white by calling them lone wolves. This is wrong and should be called out. I just find it so interesting that it seems like the media has an agenda. For example, I mentioned this a little bit in the last episode, but when there was a trans school shooter, at first we didn't know if she was a boy or a girl. And then when we were looking for a motive for why this might have happened, the media stopped talking about it and didn't release or explain what the manifesto said or what the manifesto was. But for the other shooters, their manifesto is released right away. Their motives are released and their social media history is all over the internet. Why is it that we have a double standard for this different situation? Why can't there be a shooting that happens and we're able to see all the information on the shooter that we can find, their Facebook, their social media, and all the information, so then we can know why this person did that, and then maybe we could prevent it from happening later on. And also, there was another thing that happened the same time that this terrorist attack happened, as there was a Tesla that blew up in front of Trump Tower. We have no idea who did this, or what their motive was, or if they were connected to the terrorist attack that happened in New Orleans. But the media had a field day with this story because it was a Tesla, Elon Musk, that blew up in front of Trump Tower. Trump! So they had to talk about it and they had to make a big deal about it. The thing is, we have a motive for why this man decided to ram into a crowd of people. We saw that his social media feed was filled with ISIS-related things. Him claiming that he wanted to kill his family and join ISIS. We had all of this evidence, but still, at first, they were claiming that this wasn't a terrorist attack. Just take a look at this. It's crazy.
This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found. And we are working on confirming if it's a viable device or not.
And then you take a look at this picture of the truck that rammed down these people in New Orleans. Do you see that? Do you see that the flag is wrapped up? Is this an ISIS flag? Is this a Trump flag? Is that a Joe Biden flag? According to sources, it was an ISIS flag, but who covered it up? Who rolled it up so then people couldn't see it? And so we ourselves couldn't connect this man to ISIS. Why are people trying to protect this man that killed innocent people? And I can guarantee to you that if this was a Trump flag, it would have been waving, and the media would have had a field day with this. They would be telling Trump that he was responsible for this, and it was all his fault, and that he has blood on his hands for this attack. If the person that did this attack was a white person or a Trump supporter, then the media would be condemning him, just like how the media should be condemning this person right now. Not saying a truck drove through a crowd, but saying that a person did it with the intent to kill innocent people that were just trying to enjoy the New Year festivities. However, the media would probably take it a little bit over the top, as they would make some statement like how we need to have a conversation about race in America. For example, they did this with Kyle Rittenhouse after his situation, and he didn't even kill anyone that was black. However, the media scorned him for his act of self-defense, but Rachel Maddow, at the same time, talked about the man that drove his car into a Christmas parade in Wisconsin. She never mentioned his name and called him the suspect and didn't even show his picture on live TV. The interesting thing about what happens when there is a terrorist attack and the killer isn't white is that the media comes out and different politicians come out and they tell us that we need to focus on diversity and loving our neighbors and being more kind to other people. Now, this is a nice message, and of course we should love our neighbors, but we have to figure out why this is happening. This line was used by Allstate CEO Tom Wilson, as this event took place a day before the Allstate Sugar Bowl. The game was postponed to honor the victims, and there was also a moment of silence for the victims at the game. That was nice, and something that was great for the NCAA to do, but Tom Wilson's speech fit right into the media narrative. Take a look at this.
Welcome to the Allstate Sugar Bowl. Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences. Together, we win.
So why is it that this guy is calling us, the innocent bystanders, out for not being diverse enough and not being inclusive enough, but he isn't calling out the terrorists that literally killed people? I mean, it just shocks me that this man didn't even mention once that there was a terrorist attack. He just said that an event happened. We don't know what that event was. Maybe to him, he still believes that it was just a truck that ran through a bunch of people. No terrorists involved here. I just get so annoyed with the media and all of this wokey dopey bullcrap. Oh, we can't say terrorist attack because it might offend someone. Oh, we can't say that a man killed a person. Instead, we have to say that they were unalived. I will be honest with you, the media has got to get better at covering these different stories, because I believe that we, the American people, deserve to see the whole story, not a narrative that are portrayed by the media. We don't need to have it sugar-coated different ways. Sometimes we just need answers. We used to know if this person... We need to know if this person is a part of ISIS. We need to know how he got into this country. We need to know how he was able to rampage into this crowd. We need to know why there were no barricades up that were apparently there and ready to go but weren't used. We need to know the answers to all of these different questions, not because we hate religion or people's skin color, but because we need to prevent this from happening again. And we need to make sure that all freedom-loving people are safe from harm. And with that, I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dockery Docket. And until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.